I. Introduction. The enigma of connection. Human connection. From a fleeting glance in a crowd to the quiet comfort of a long-term partnership, has always fascinated humanity. The question of what truly draws us to another person remains one of the most fundamental and often misunderstood aspects of human experience. In popular discourse, superficial narratives about attraction often dominate, focusing on appearance, social status, or manipulative tactics, such as touching these 5 spots to awaken desire, or 6 things that most stimulate sexual desire. These types of content, frequently found in popular media, suggest quick, external solutions to complex relational dynamics. However, a deeper understanding of love and attraction requires looking beyond these simplifications. Carl Jung, a pioneer of analytical psychology, dared to explore the hidden depths of the human mind, offering a revolutionary perspective that transcends simple cause and effect relationships. His work reveals profound patterns that shape our most intimate relationships. This film will embark on a journey into the unconscious forces, the unseen threads, that truly shape our connections, revealing how genuine connection becomes a path to self-knowledge and wholeness. The prevalence of sensational titles, often invoking Jung's name, points to a widespread demand for easy answers in the realm of relationships. The approach presented here aims to offer a more in-depth alternative that encourages inner work rather than reliance on external manipulations. 2. The blueprint of the psyche, Jung's foundational concepts. To comprehend the intricate dynamics of attraction and love from a Jungian perspective, it is essential to first grasp his fundamental model of the human mind, or psyche. Jung defined the psyche as the entirety of a human mind, encompassing both conscious and unconscious elements, striving for wholeness. The layers of the mind. In Jung's model, several interacting systems are distinguished. The ego. This represents a conscious mind, comprising the thoughts, memories, and emotions a person is aware of. It is largely responsible for feelings of identity and continuity, forming the center of conscious experience and providing awareness of who you are and your place in the world. The personal unconscious. This part of the mind holds forgotten memories, hidden feelings, and personal experiences unique to each individual. It is where repressed thoughts and emotions reside, subtly shaping behaviors, dreams, and choices beneath conscious awareness. Within the personal unconscious are also complexes. Complexes. These are emotionally charged clusters of ideas and images around specific themes, e.g., family, relationships, success, that significantly influence thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without conscious awareness. Complexes can usurp power from the ego, meaning that hidden psychological factors can profoundly shape our experiences and relationships, often against our conscious will. This indicates that attraction is not solely a conscious, logical choice, but is driven by these deeper, autonomous unconscious forces. The collective unconscious. This is a deeper, universal layer of the unconscious mind shared by all human beings. Unlike the personal unconscious, it is universal and inherited, containing instincts, patterns, images, and themes common across all cultures and historical periods. It can be thought of as a kind of species memory passed down from generation to generation. Archetypes, universal patterns of being. The collective unconscious contains pre-existent forms called archetypes, which are like blueprints or structures. They manifest as universal themes, symbols, and figures in dreams, myths, folklore, rituals, and religious symbols. Archetypes are irrepresentable in their true nature, meaning they transcend full conscious comprehension, but their effects are perceivable. Archetypes evoke a typical thought pattern, a definite set of emotions, typical physical sensations, and definite fantasies. The universality and inherited nature of the collective unconscious and archetypes suggest that human connection, at its most fundamental level, is shaped by shared, primordial patterns of relating. This means that certain aspects of attraction are innate or deeply resonant due to shared human experience, making some connections feel destined or soul-stirring. This lends attraction a profound, almost spiritual dimension, contrasting with purely biological or social explanations. 3. The magnetic dance, unconscious attraction in action. Attraction, especially in its intense initial phases, is often driven by unconscious processes that Jung described in detail. Projection, the unconscious mirror of the soul. Projection is an unconscious mechanism in which we attribute our own unacknowledged psychological qualities, both desirable and undesirable, to others. This often forms the initial spark of intense attraction, where the other person becomes a unique kind of mirror that reflects hidden aspects of our own being. From this perspective, falling in love is less a conscious choice and more like a collision of two unconscious realms. It can be the unconscious recognizing a missing element within itself. Anima and Animus, our inner counterparts. Two key archetypes central to attraction are the Anima and Animus. Anima. This is the unconscious feminine side in men, representing qualities like emotionality, receptivity, relatedness, intuition, creativity, and spiritual sensitivity. Jung called the anima the archetype of life itself. When the anima is projected, it imbues a woman with erotic power and makes her seem magical and numinous. Animus. This is the unconscious masculine side in women, representing qualities like assertiveness, action, reason, and the capacity to make an impact. Jung considered the animus more complex than the anima, often appearing as a conjunction of multiple male personalities. In the context of attraction, a man is drawn to a woman who embodies his anima image, while a woman chooses a partner who carries her animus projection. This explains the phenomenon of love at first sight. Jung stated that every man carries within him the eternal image of woman. This image is fundamentally unconscious, an hereditary factor of primordial origin engraved in the living organic system of the man, an imprint or archetype of all the ancestral experiences of the female. This leads to the conclusion that a man's attractions say a good deal more about his own psyche than they do about the other person. The hidden allure of the shadow. The shadow archetype encompasses those parts of ourselves that we reject, repress, or don't recognize. Primitive emotions, insecurities, and used talents. We are often intensely attracted to individuals who openly express traits we deny in ourselves or suppress. This attraction is an unconscious yearning for wholeness. For example, an introverted person might be fascinated by an extrovert, reflecting a desire for those traits within themselves. When we meet someone who openly expresses traits hidden in our own shadow, a powerful attraction can ignite because our unconscious recognizes a missing piece of itself. The paradox of desire, authenticity over artifice. The common belief that external efforts or tricks ignite desire often proves misleading. Constant availability, excessive devotion, or trying too hard to please can paradoxically diminish perceived value and attractiveness. This removes the magic of mystery and the tension of the unknown. True magnetism comes from inner completeness, authenticity, self-sufficiency, and a sense of purpose. A man who has faced his fears, acknowledged his flaws, and embraced his full self, masculine and feminine energies alike, carries an invisible power to which women are biologically and psychologically attuned. A woman who is vast, a poem unfolding, whose presence suggests always more to learn, more to feel, more to touch, not just on your skin but in your soul, will remain engaged, not from obligation, but from wonder. The above considerations show that projection, while an initial driver of intense attraction, is also dangerous because it leads to trying to force a partner to conform to an idealized image, causing difficulties and misunderstandings. Initial infatuation is based on illusion, not reality. This leads to disappointment when the partner cannot fill our inner gaps. True connection often begins only when these projections fade. Authenticity is the ultimate attractor. Superficial tactics are ineffective, while inner completeness, self-sufficiency, and authenticity are magnetic. It's not about external doing, but internal being. The paradox of attraction is that excessive effort repels, while being your true self attracts. This implies a fundamental shift in perspective. Attraction is less about doing something for someone and more about being someone for yourself. It is a product of personal development and inner integration. For love as transformation, the path of individuation. Initial infatuation, driven by projection, is inherently unstable. Sooner or later, reality intervenes, and the idealized image projected onto the partner dies, leading to disappointment. This is a critical, often painful, turning point. Jung believed that these projections must eventually collapse for a genuine encounter with the actual person, beyond illusions and expectations, to begin. Disappointment can arise if we rely on a partner to fill our inner gaps, and true connection often begins only when these projections fade. Shadow integration in relationship. The relationship becomes an alchemical vessel for encountering the unknown within oneself. When projections fall away, our own unintegrated shadow aspects are revealed. Shadow work is the process of acknowledging and integrating these repressed parts of ourselves. Intimacy provides a safe space for this process. Partners often mirror each other's unintegrated aspects, making conflicts a doorway to knowing yourself more deeply. What we can't stand in a partner is often a reflection of something in ourselves. The initial projection-driven attraction, though powerful, is an illusion that must break down for true love to emerge. This breakdown is described as a crisis that shatters normal ego identifications, leading to ego death and a more expansive way of being. It is a necessary, though painful, step toward self-awareness. This process transforms failure in the early stages of a relationship into a critical opportunity for growth, shifting the narrative from disappointment to potential. It emphasizes that the unseen threads are not always comfortable, but they are crucial for genuine connection. Individuation, the journey to wholeness through love. Individuation is Jung's lifelong psychological process of becoming one's true, authentic self, integrating conscious and unconscious parts of the mind. While individuation is an internal process, it is inseparable from embodied moments of conjunction with people in life. The self is relational. Individuation is dependent upon relationships with others. Love is a process of mutual individuation. True love is not about seeking salvation or completeness in another person, but about mutually encouraging growth. A partner is not there to complete us, but to reveal what we have not yet completed in ourselves. When the tension of opposites is held, a third kind of relationship can form, which Jung called a golden thread, signifying a deeper, more integrated bond. Individuation is the fundamental goal of the Jungian approach. Intimate relationships are not just part of this process, but a particularly fertile ground and an alchemical vessel where the most deeply rooted personal needs and vulnerabilities are experienced. It is in relationships that we meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises and confront our shadow. This elevates the purpose of intimate relationships beyond companionship or procreation to a profound spiritual and psychological journey. It suggests that challenges in relationships are not obstacles to be avoided, but necessary catalysts for personal and mutual transformation. V. Cultivating conscious connection. Practical wisdom. Conscious connection in relationships requires active engagement with internal processes, self-awareness as a compass. Introspection and understanding one's own complexes, projections, and archetypal influences are critically important. This is a starting point for conscious relating. True desirability comes from self-mastery and embracing one's shadow, not from moral perfection or dependency. Embracing authenticity and vulnerability. Strength lies in genuine self-expression. True connection is built on sincerity, not pretense. Vulnerability, expressed from a place of inner strength, is magnetic. The most magnetic individuals are often those who possess a sense of inner completeness and do not need external confirmation of their worth. Their self-sufficiency, stemming not from coldness but from inner wholeness, is inherently attractive. Your genuine self, with its unique strengths and perspectives, is what truly draws meaningful attention. Respecting otherness. It is crucial to differentiate between our inner images, projections, and the reality of the partner as an individual in their own right. This involves withdrawing projections. Individuation demands conscious differentiation of inner amigos and the outer partner as a person in themselves. Engaging someone's sense of self should never involve diminishing them. Cultivating mystery and depth. A continuous sense of wonder and discovery should be nurtured in the relationship, recognizing that a person is an unfolding poem, not a solved puzzle. This keeps engagement alive, not from obligation, but from wonder. When a partner feels there is always more to learn, more to feel, more to touch, not just on the skin, but in the soul, they will remain engaged, not from obligation, but from wonder. This aligns with Jung's concept of the numinous, a sense of the sacred or profoundly mysterious. Conflict is a catalyst. Challenges and out-of-proportion effects in relationships should be seen as opportunities for deeper understanding and growth, not as signs of failure. Dialogue brings movement. Conflict is a gift. Every emotionally charged argument is an invitation to deeper self-awareness. Tension in a relationship or within ourselves is what leads to personal growth. The above considerations emphasize that while unconscious forces initiate attraction, relational maturity requires conscious effort. Concepts such as conscious relating, withdrawal projections, taking responsibility for one's projections, and integration of archetypes indicate that individuals must actively engage in self-work. This is not a passive process. Self-awareness leads to withdrawal of projections, which in turn enables the integration of inner aspects and, consequently, authentic connection. This illustrates a clear path from unconscious compulsion to conscious, mature love, demonstrating that Jung's insights are not merely theoretical, but offer a practical framework for personal and relational development. Furthermore, the relationship between inner psychological work, shadow integration, Anima/Animus integration, and the quality of external relationships is repeatedly emphasized. Conscious relating begins within ourselves. This suggests that improving relationships is fundamentally a matter of improving oneself. This challenges the common external focus of relationship advice, asserting that true relational health stems from inner psychological health. It reinforces the idea that the unseen threads are both within us and between us, and mastering the former is key to navigating the latter. 6. Conclusion. The enduring legacy of love. Jung's vision of love extends far beyond mere emotion or physical attraction. It is a spiritual journey, a path of self-knowledge, and a catalyst for psychological wholeness. Individuation, the process of becoming one's true self, is a lifelong journey and never completed. Love in this context is a continuous invitation to grow, to face the unknown within oneself and with the other. Love can be a transformative process of mutual individuation. Jung viewed Eros as a cosmogonos, a creator and father-mother of all higher consciousness. True love is described as a profound spiritual union and a transcendent quality that draws us. This elevates love beyond a mere psychological or biological function to a force that drives human consciousness and spiritual development. Ultimately, conscious love has the power to transform. By embracing their own depths and respecting the otherness of their partner, individuals create connections that are not only deeply satisfying, but also contribute to their evolution as human beings. This is a process of building a shared legacy. A partner will not only desire, but will build with the other person, because in them they see not just love, but legacy. These are not tricks. These are truths. Engaging with the unseen threads of Jungian psychology and relationships is not just about personal happiness, but contributes to the greater evolution of humanity toward wholeness and deeper meaning. Love becomes a sacred act of creation and transformation.